Hello everybody and welcome back to another trip report. Today I'm here at Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport at Terminal 2. Today I'm going to be flying Virgin Australia on, believe it or not, a Boeing 737 from here in Sydney down to my hometown of Melbourne in Victoria. Just got off the train from the international terminal. Now here is the Virgin Australia check-in area. It's very big. There's Rex and Jetstar's over there. As for where I will be checking in, thankfully I have Velocity Gold. It's very busy here today, so we can actually use the priority check-in. So let's go over there and check in. Check-in now completed. Now let's head through security. Haven't done the best printing job, I must say. Unfortunately, based off past experiences, I'd have to guess that there's not any priority screening here at Terminal 2. Okay, security is now completed. It's not automated at all. It's really busy. It's in the middle of the Easter school holidays on a Sunday, so that's to be expected. Anyways, eventually got through. Hopefully they do upgrade it so you don't have to take everything out soon. But meanwhile, I guess we just have to deal with it. Now here's the Virgin Australia Lounge here in Sydney. Let's go in and check out what they have to offer today. Welcome to the Virgin Australia Sydney Lounge. Let's have a quick look at the food offerings. It's super busy here as well. There's a few different types of cookies to go with your barista coffee, which you can order just here. Then there's tea bags and stuff here, I believe. Then you can ask for anything that's in those cabinets, including alcoholic beverages past 12 p.m. I believe it's past 12 p.m. and it is almost 12 p.m. Here's the soft drink dispenser. I have some wine glasses, salad bowls, some of that, wraps, toasties. I might actually have one of them, they look good. Then there's this tortellini pasta thing, which sounds nice as well. Thai creamy chicken soup, and there's bread rolls as well. There's vegan and I assume that's regular. Oh, and there's a soul cake slab opera. Overall, there's don't have any chips or anything. Or any fruit since it's past breakfast. I feel like the best offerings at the VA lounges tend to be in the morning, but overall it's still a solid lounge offering here at the Virgin Australia Sydney Lounge. When I think of this lounge, I more think about it for its size as opposed to the amount of food. Melbourne's probably the best lounge in terms of food quantity. Okay, it's now time to head to gate 42, which is where our plane should be departing from. I did enjoy my time at the Virgin Australia Sydney Lounge, however, I wasn't very impressed with the food selection today, I must admit. I do hope that they improve on that next time I come, but it did the job. There's Wi-Fi and a nice place to sit and relax. So I guess that's all I really needed today. So basically most Virgin Australia flights, if not all of them, go from this left wing of Terminal 2 here. A couple Rex flights go from there too, and when there used to be Dreamliners of Jetstar's going from Sydney, they also went from this way, but now basically all of Jetstar's flights go from the other way, as do Rex's sub 340s. I'm now here right at the end of the terminal. This is the third time in a row that when departing from Sydney with VA, I've got one of these really annoying gates that are just down here, where I don't really like the way that you board. It's messy. Well, there's a Q300 there. It looks very strange because it's so stubby. But anyways, as I was saying, and you get a terrible view of the plane if you get one at all. I think there's one, maybe two gates where you don't get a view until you start boarding. Anyways, here's my plane for today. This is Victor Hotel, Yankee Foxtrot Foxtrot. It's a 2011 built Boeing 737-800 delivered brand new to Virgin Australia. This should be my ride down to Melbourne. By the way, I completely forgot to mention earlier that our plane's actually delayed 35 minutes. Not quite thinking straight today since I had a long overnight flight. Also, with the delay, it's a bit strange. I noticed our aircraft, VH-YFF, was meant to operate Sydney to Hobart and back, and Sydney to Sunshine Coast and back at practically the same time, give or take 15 minutes, early this morning, which is very confusing. They ended up cancelling the Hobart service and just keeping the Sunshine Coast one, but the Sunshine Coast flight was scheduled to get in, it wasn't delayed, but it was scheduled to get in 5 minutes before ours. So I don't know what's going on there. They've messed up the timetable or whatever. So basically our flight was doomed to be delayed. So many people in the priority queue, there's got to be like maybe almost 50. Hi.
Hey buddy. There we go, enjoy your flight.
Thank you. Okay, just had a bit of a hiccup during boarding. They didn't even tell us until we started boarding, but they've changed our seat for someone that needs to be sitting together. But I'm sitting with, and we also need to be sitting together, but they've shifted us away. So it's very annoying. I don't really have time to explain details right now, but I will just say I'm not very impressed. It's very, very annoying. Hi.
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Perfect.
Thank you. Welcome on board the VA737-800. Seats are in a 2-2 configuration in business class with 8 seats. There's 168 economy in a 3-3 layout. My seat for today is 8F on the left side of the aircraft. I'll explain what happened with the seats in just a minute.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome on board the Virgin Australia Boeing 737-800, seat 8F. Now let's go through the seat features before I go on a rant about this seat issue. Legroom on this aircraft, as I've got used to with Virgin Australia, is 31 inches or 79 centimetres, which is solid, but nothing special. However, for a short-haul flight in Australia, it's actually probably above the average that you get on airlines here. Here you have an individual seat pocket for your personal items. There's also a bigger seat pocket for your safety card, menu, and sick bag, which is inside the menu today. And someone else's boarding pass, that's not mine. Just here is the tray table, which you can fold down. By the way, I can tell they clearly haven't cleaned it very well in the last few flights, because that flight wasn't even from this plane's previous 2 flights. Just here you have the tray table, which is mostly clean. You can pull it out and push it in, however it's not foldable. There's a headrest, of course, which is adjustable on the sides and up and down. Keeping in mind, the seat behind me, that's actually 9A, doesn't have a window, and 10F, I believe, also doesn't have a window. So just to be mindful of that. I don't believe that Virgin Australia have it marked on their website. But yeah, that's about it for the seat features of this aircraft. I'm just going to give you a few brief details of what's happened with the seats. So basically, we were meant to be in a row of 3. They've changed us as two old. I think there's an old couple that have been swapped to be on the aisles. Not exactly sure why it was so necessary. I do appreciate that they do need extra accessibility. I would have thought there would be some other spots where they could have been placed that doesn't affect a kid. And also just that I can respect that it needs to happen, but I really would have appreciated some notice. We just started boarding. I actually went in the jet bridge while they were scanning their boarding passes, and that's when we were told. And her attitude, she was kind of like, she was being like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it, but she didn't have a very good attitude towards it. She seemed like she was just trying to be polite, but she really couldn't care less about where we were sitting. So now we're separated really not ideal. So I'm not very happy with the Virgin Australia for that, and the delay management was a bit bad as well. So first impressions are not very good, and the lounge was also pretty average. Virgin Australia, been flying with you a lot recently, and haven't had a flight experience like this since I got downgraded from business class. So yeah, not very impressed.
Frequent flyers along with our Virgin Australia business flight members. It's wonderful to have you with us again. We're pleased to offer Virgin Australia entertainment.
On that note, I would have hoped that me being a Velocity Gold member would have got
Simply connect to the Virgin Australia Wi-Fi
some
network,
extra
then head to
consideration.
wi-fi.virginaustralia.com. If there's anything else myself and my crew can do today to make your flight more wonderful, please let us know. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Virgin Australia hospitality.
Thank you so much to the incredible cabin crew here on board this flight. They've managed to sort it out so they can sit together, so thank you very much to them. But my oh my, the ground, just the whole ground experience at Sydney was absolutely terrible.
Doors cross-check.
Now time for pushback, finally. Over an hour late.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily and I'd like to introduce you to your team flying you to Melbourne today. Your captain is Michael Taylor and First Officer Hugh Willis. And in the cabin you'll meet Anne up the front, Michelle in the middle and Annie down the back. We'll now take you through our safety demonstration, so please pause your devices and give us your attention for just a few minutes.
Welcome aboard. It's wonderful to have you with us. At Virgin Australia, your health and safety come first, so we appreciate you giving us your attention as we take you through some important information about this flight. Your seatbelt should now be done up low and tight across your hips. To fasten, push the ends together until they click, then pull the strap to tighten. To release, just lift the buckle. Remove any face covering, then quickly place the oxygen mask over your nose and mouth and slip the strap over your head. And while the bag won't inflate, oxygen will flow. So just breathe normally. To find out the brace positions and other important safety information, check the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. Smoking, vaping and the use of e-cigarettes isn't allowed on board. This includes in the toilets, which have smoke detectors and alarms. You may continue using your handheld devices as long as you have switched them to flight mode. Anything larger than handheld will need to be put away. And if you lose your device in your seat, don't move the seat. Just sit tight and ask your crew for assistance. Finally, make sure your seat is upright, window blinds are open, tray tables put away, and all bags are under the seat in front of you.
For whatever reason, I think this is the third time the runway's changed since I've got here at Sydney Airport. Now we're using runway 25 to take off, which is the shortest of Sydney's 3 runways.
Have a crew seated for takeoff.
This is pretty rare actually, VH-YFF's 737-800. It's the only 800 NG series aircraft left in their fleet. fair bit of turbulence climbing up to cruising altitude due to tropical cyclone, I think it's Tropical Cyclone Isla that's recently hit Western Australia. It's kind of just finishing up over there now, and though it's not directly affecting Eastern Australia over here, it's still causing higher than usual winds.
Remind you that smoking, vaping, or using e-cigarettes is not permitted anywhere on board. This is including the toilets. If you'd like something to eat or drink, our onboard menu is in your seat pocket with plenty of options for you to purchase with a business credit card only. We don't accept any phone or watch payments. And of course, it's complimentary tea, coffee and water. We're pleased to offer Virgin Australia entertainment on your own device with free streaming movies, TV shows, and children's entertainment. Simply connect to the Virgin Australia Wi-Fi network and hit your Wi-Fi at virginaustralia.com. For your convenience, there are 2 toilets located in the rear of the aircraft for our guests seated in the main cabin. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight a little bit more comfortable. We're always happy to help.
Just having a quick look at the menu here, just pause and read if you want to look at anything specifically, since I've gone through it many times. But yeah, from memory in the past, the prices are solid for an Australian airline anyway, but it is still on the more expensive side. It's actually a fair bit more than Bonza too, which is interesting. But of course on Virgin Australia, there is complimentary tea, coffee and water. A friendly crew just came around and gave out the tea, coffee, water service, and I think they're doing buy board. However, I was kind of half asleep when they came around. So I opted for a white tea, so they gave me a milk to put in here. You can also request more, I'm sure. Have coffee, water, and you can probably get sugars for both coffee and tea as well. Overall, for a very short flight, it's a solid service from Virgin Australia, and since I've flown them so much, I know what I'm going to get when I book them. It would be nice if they reintroduce little snacks on some of their longer domestic flights, however. We have now just started our descent into Melbourne Tullamarine. Almost finished my tea, and I'll go through in very brief detail the entertainment in just a moment.
Window blinds are open, tray tables put away, and all bags are under the seat in front of you or in the lockers.
Okay, so I'm just going to have a very, very quick look at the entertainment because I don't feel very good and I've gone through it many times before, so you can check out some of my other videos for a more in detail look. Just going to have a look at some very quick movies, but what I can tell you is there's actually a really solid selection of movies for a free entertainment system on your own device. I believe they use this on international as well, which would make it a bit more standard, but for domestic entertainment system, it's actually really pretty good, and I don't really use it that often, to be honest, but you should be able to find something to watch, especially for a short 1 hour hop down to Melbourne from Sydney. There's also the in-flight map, which we'll have a look at here. Here it is, so you can see that we're very, very close to Melbourne now, just descending through 26,000 feet, and should be arriving approximately 50 minutes late. So that's about it for the in-flight entertainment, or that's like the general idea of it. I can tell you that there's a solid amount of movies and TV shows, and the in-flight map is pretty good as well. I think for a free system, as I said, it's free on every VH-737 and I think A320 and Fokker 100s have it as well. It's a very nice system, and it's certainly nice that Virgin Australia offer this without charging. They also are starting to roll out Wi-Fi, which is free if you're in business class or if you have platinum. And I think you can pay something like $9 for an hour or half an hour, and then $15 for the full flight, I believe.
feel free to keep using handheld devices.
Welcome to strange Melbourne. So, generally speaking, partly cloudy, but there's just a random cloud in the middle of the valley there. Anyways, now starting our approach into Melbourne's Tullamarine International Airport. I think it's now a pretty good time to do a very short conclusion on today's trip report, since I've concluded this route before, and yeah, I'm also very low on energy in case you couldn't tell. So my journey today started off at Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport. At the international terminal I just walked over to the train and caught the train over to the domestic terminal, which costed about $7-8, which I kind of wish it was free just between terminals, but oh well. There is a bus service as well, which I think goes every half hour. It takes a lot longer though, and it's just a bit more annoying. Once I got to the terminal it was packed, so thanks to my Velocity Gold status, we were very lucky in that we could use the priority lane, and the check-in agent was pretty friendly. We then went through security, which was busy, not crazy busy, but still very busy and not automated, unfortunately. We then made our way to the Virgin Australia Sydney Lounge, which I found to be particularly underwhelming today. The seating options are average, and the food options today were actually, I would almost say, bad. I mean, there's stuff if you need to eat, but there really wasn't a whole lot there. So I do hope that, I've seen better there before, so I don't know if hopefully this was just a one-off. And then boarding was completely confusing. I don't like that we got changed at all, to be fair. I'm sure there would have been lots of other people that would have been easier to change, just to swap for that old lady or that old couple. I'm not sure if they're a couple, but to get aisle seats. Also, I would have appreciated a bit of notice, so I didn't start walking down the jet bridge when I noticed that my family wasn't following because they'd been pulled aside for the seat change. And then she wasn't very kind about it. She was just she didn't approach it very nicely. But that happened, and eventually, thankfully, the very friendly cabin crew on board managed to get us together in the end. So I am grateful for that. But the whole ground experience at Sydney, and as I mentioned, with the plane being scheduled on 2 different flights, it was just a whole big mess at Sydney Airport today. So overall, I would say it was one of the worst flights I've had with Virgin Australia. However, once on board and the seats sorted, it was just a very average flight. This flight, I believe, starts from $79-89 or something like that, as does Rex. Qantas starts from $150, Jetstar starts from $70. For that reason, I would say that Rex is the best option on this route, since it includes baggage for the same price as Virgin Australia's light fare, as far as I'm aware. Anyways, I guess it's up to what you guys think, but Virgin is also a solid option most of the time on this route. It's not normally quite as bad. Enjoy the landing into Melbourne Tullamarine. Welcome to Melbourne. There's been a lot of rain here in the last 24 hours, in case you couldn't tell.
Melbourne. Virgin Australia is proud to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we walk, work, live and fly, and pay our respects to elders past, present and future. The local time here is just approaching 3:30 and we'll be getting you to the gate shortly. For everyone's safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened and the arms and exits clear until the seatbelt sign is switched off. Remember to take care when you open the lockers and make sure you have everything with you before you leave. We'll be leaving for the forward and rear doors today. If you're leaving for the rear door, you'll have stairs to go down, so please mind your step as you exit, hold the handrails and remain on the outside of the markers on the tarmac. Open the forward door when it's clear. As we'll be refueling, smoking, vaping or using e-cigarettes isn't allowed on the tarmac or anywhere in the terminal building. You can now take your devices off flight mode, but please note that they cannot be used on the tarmac. We'd like to thank you so much for flying with Virgin Australia today. We hope you've enjoyed the flight. Look forward to seeing you next when you choose to fly. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Doors and cross-check.
Hello, thank you, bye bye. Welcome to Melbourne. You'd think it's winter with this kind of weather. It's actually just the middle of autumn. Okay, well I think it's now about a good time to conclude today's trip report. By the way, with Velocity Gold, you do get lounge access on arrival. However, I'm not going to be using that just today. I have showcased that in many other videos before, however. I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video, despite the fact that I've been very tired and probably the video hasn't been as good quality as usual. So if this is your first time watching, maybe check out one of my other ones, because this certainly isn't my best. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video. A like and subscription if you enjoyed would be very much appreciated, but it's not expected nor necessary. Check out my website at aviation763.com for information on upcoming flights and easier navigation to certain airlines trip reports. Also check out my Instagram for live updates. I posted live updates on for my flight today on my Instagram at aviation763_. Last but most certainly not least, thank you to my incredible Patreons who help to make these videos possible. Your support is so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without you. Finally, once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you have an incredible day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next one.
Hello everyone and welcome to Melbourne. Virgin Australia is proud to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land